paycheck every 2 weeks for 40 years. Now money's on you. So where's that check come from in retirement?
You are moments away from finally getting the inside track on finance.
You've saved, you've done all the preparation, but when it's time to execute, you have to shift from preparing to performing.
This is the Financial Fast Track with Tod Long.
What we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning for you.
Making more momentum with your money.
Well, they say that you can't take it with you. That's true, but the IRS sure tries to take everything we have. Am I right? Hey, welcome into the show. This is our initial show working together. This is Long Financial Services Show, Financial Fast Track with Tod Long. And the reason it's called that is because Tod Long is the Tod Long, the sprinter. I had to look you up, Tod. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Jackie?
Oh, I'm doing well. I was like, wait a minute. You mean Tod Long, Todlong, Tod Long?
Yeah, that's it. It's spelled with one D. And yeah, I've been there in Oklahoma, obviously born and raised there, and obviously went to Oklahoma University.
Yeah.
Ran track there, et cetera. So yeah, that's me.
Our OU champion from back in the day.
Yes.
Does that feel funny to say that? Because really, when you started, what are we talking? That was the 90s.
That was the 90s. Yeah. I started running track in 1989 as a senior in high school at Carl Albert, if everybody knows that. And yes. I got a scholarship to Oklahoma University and ran there for 4 years. So yeah, for the early 90s, I was down in Norman.
Your dad and your uncle are very fast runners as well.
They were, yeah, in the 60s. So you probably remember Glenn and Wayne Long. So
wow.
The twins, yeah, they are identical twins. I didn't tell you that, Jackie, but so yeah, they were spectacular back in the mid to late 60s. Both of them went to Oklahoma University on a full scholarship as well, and I just followed their footsteps.
That is fantastic. And I love the story that your mom called up the coach in high school and said, he's coming to run.
Yeah, yeah, she did. Well, nobody knew because I was, as I was telling you, I was in the computers doing things like that around the house. And so nobody knew that I was going to start to run track. And so my mom just gave me a kind of a head start. Not so much a head start, but, she let somebody know who had the pull to get me in school.
Sure.
Hey, I'm going to be running. And so that name kind of carried it weight and I got a scholarship pretty quickly.
Now, Tod, I really like the story of athleticism, and you went from, running in high school that last year to college and then professionally, because there's a lot of discipline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Absolutely. I had to train, I will say in college, I just did the workout, right? But when I became a professional, it became more about the science. So I had to really dive in and double click on what I had to do to be successful. Just beyond just getting in shape, right? And so there's a lot of technique, a lot of again science that goes behind sprinting.
Well, nowadays for sure. I mean, I'm not saying you're that far removed, but I mean the science of the shoes and the the clothes and what the drink that you drink beforehand and the whole thing.
I wish I had those shoes they have now. I absolutely wish I do. Yeah, it was. Those are shaving hundreds, if not tens of seconds off of times that I would love to have those when I was running.
What about your dad and his brother? They ran in leather shoes, didn't they?
Yeah, that on cinder tracks. So yeah, technology is and science, like I said, has advanced in so many years. And obviously that was in the 60s. So by the 90s, I was running on kind of asphalt, but kind of Mondo surfaces. But now it's really a better Mondo surface that they're running on now. That the tech they're using in their shoes are completely beyond the scope that I was when I was running. So yeah, it's pretty impressive now.
All right, just one more thing about your career here. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of times going into the future, but I'm just curious to know, how fast did you run the 200 meters? It's your fastest time.
Fastest time on record is 2028.
20 seconds and 28 milliseconds?
Yes, 2028.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, I think I did that in Tokyo or someplace in Japan. I forgot which.
Okay, so it's 200 yards is just a city block and a half or something?
I have no idea. You got me on that one.
20 seconds, you're just barely looking at your watch and it's gone by.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit longer, obviously longer than 100 meters. So 100 meters, like really, really quick. That's a blink of an eye type scenario. Mm-hmm. 200 meter, it's a half a lap around a track. And
Okay.
so, yeah, you get to start over on the curve, and you run the curve and use those forces to come off
I see.
off that curve on the straight, and you try to make things happen. I mean, Noah Lyles just won the world championships in 200 meter. I think it was 1957, I do believe he ran over in Tokyo. As a matter of fact, probably the track I ran on back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah. Totally different though. Those are really, they got the better shoes, it's better
Sure.
technology.
I mean, yeah, they were wearing laced up, leather shoes.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you for explaining all that to me. Everyone, you're listening to Financial Fast Track with Tod Long, and I'm Jackie Selby on this side of things. And the reason I think it's fun and important to talk about your athletic career, like I said, I mentioned the discipline, but for 22 years, you've brought in your experience and your resilience and focus and all that into financial services for the community.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. I did a lot of my own financial planning with the money that I was making while I was running.
Oh, good.
And so,
good man.
yeah, absolutely. And again, following my dad's footsteps, he did some things in financial services as well. He kind of brought me into the industry.
Ooh.
And I just kind of took it from there and just kept on running, and if you will, and not pun not intended, right?
Jinx.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, I got into financial services, and it's been helping folks out. Started out as kind of in a captive agency, didn't really like that too much. And I kind of branched out and doing some independent stuff. And I've been independent for, at this point in time, 21 years, I think.
Oh, you've been an independent for 21 years?
Yeah.
That's really neat, so that you can talk to people about products and strategies and things like that the guy with the name tag on
That's correct.
Cannot talk to you about, right?
That is correct. That's correct. I have a lot more flexibility to take care of my clients that way versus being in a environment where you only can sell or only can talk about those specific products, and that's it.
Sure.
And so now I can go out and look at the marketplace to really find the right kind of products and services that actually suits my clients best versus what I'm told to sell.
Sure. And it's not just about sales, though. It's financial planning from, A to Z.
That's correct. Yeah.
And I mean, everything from what to do with that darn 401k. And so mapping out your IRA.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just leave it in there. So many people just leave it in the 401k.
They do. And that is kind of a ticking time bomb that they don't really know about, because they think, hey, it's money that I'll need at some point. But if you continue to leave it in there, there's all kinds of things that can happen to it as far as the RMDs are concerned, which means that you're going to be forced to take money out, which means that if you don't plan for that, it's going to adjust your taxes or impact your taxes in retirement, which means it could suck out your income in your retirement. So it's all kind of different things that can happen.
Right. I don't know about you, but I feel like once I'm done working at an employer, I'd like to own that account. Because when you're employed, they still own the account.
That is true. They have a custodian that actually will.
Custodian.
Control that account. I do often encourage my clients to move that into a self-directed type of a fund or an account like a Roth or a traditional IRA that's in their own name that actually can manipulate them themselves.
Great. And
from there, you can use that as a baseline to go out and do other things with it versus I got to go through somebody to go get it.
Boy, that seems really important to me. I'm the youngest of 7 children, and so all of my siblings are going through these things because they're in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Pre-retirement. I'm still pre-retirement, but it's interesting to see the amount of information or lack of information in education that the general American has about how to proceed once they get to the 65 or the 67.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, a lot of the things that I do actually in my agency is actually educate consumers to get them on that level playing field with everybody else who has like maybe a financial planner or whatever it may be. And honestly, if you look at it, a lot of consumers were just taught all of their adult life to save.
Yes.
And that's it. But then when it transitions into retirement, okay, so what do I do now? I don't want to spend the money. Well, no, you have to spend the money. That's what it's there for. And you have, unless you want to, transfer wealth or things like that, and that can happen. But for the most part, if you want to have a successful retirement, as in like travel, golf, gardening, whatever hobbies you have, it's going to take an income. And that's what that money's for. So let's get it in the right spot to where you can actually take that money and have a good retirement.
Now, Todd is reachable on this 888 number. It's 888-548-0409. And you will be, if you use the number to reach out and talk to Tod Long, you will get an actual person on the phone. There's no services, and please leave a number. None of this kind of a thing. So when you make the call, it's 888-548-0409. And let's get you booked right into Todd's calendar, where it's a no charge, no obligation. But he'll tell you about all of that here coming up in just a moment.
So one thing I want to say is that a lot of our listeners have said that they feel they're saving well, but they're still concerned about that volatility market that I just mentioned and actually having enough money to last through their retirement. So making sure that you actually have an income plan that will actually last your entire life, no matter how long that may be, is what drives us here at Long Financial Services. So it's what we do good. It's what we do day in and day out. And that's why we've actually created the Financial Fast Track Review. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a no cost, no obligation financial review. This analysis will include a fee report and risk assessment to help you recognize unnecessary losses in your portfolio and see if by simply protecting your retirement investment and minimizing those fees, you could actually experience dramatic growth potential. Now, second, what we'll do is we'll perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes and increase your cash flow today. And finally, what we'll do is develop a customized income plan utilizing proven strategies that could actually strengthen your retirement income and take the worry out of living in retirement. So in short, what we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning just for you. Okay. So for the next 10 callers, that's a comprehensive financial fast track review that we are providing to you complimentary. There's no obligation to do anything at all.
888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. Coming up, we're going to flip the switch. Don't leave us.
Tired of financial jargon that leaves you feeling confused? At Long Financial Services, Tod Long offers clear, straightforward advice about your retirement. Understand your strategies, regain control, and get peace of mind knowing exactly where you stand. Call 888-548-0409. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
All right. Some people are ready to flip the switch from working to retirement. But it's not exactly that easy on your own. That's why you want to financial fast track yourself right into a sit down with the one, the only Tod Long. Now, I'm a little starstruck, Jackie Selby on this side, Tod Long of Long Financial Services, because they said, you're going to be working with Tod Long. And I'm looking him up. I go, the Tod Long? Anyway, any OU fans and people who admire the fast runners, gosh, you are a 7-time Big 8 champion, 6-time NC2A All-American. I mean, you just have everything. You've got all the stuff, especially at the collegiate level with our OU Sooners.
Yeah, I did a lot there. Like I said, 4 years. I was at one point I was probably one of the more decorated athletes as far as accolades are concerned.
Yes.
There. I did a lot of running there, what got it done and kind of went out and proceeded to run for Nike afterwards.
You're professionally, and that's really fun and interesting. It's hot out there, though. I'm going to say one thing. You're looking at me, and you can imagine that my face turns beet red when I get hot.
It was hot. But I've been in hotter environments, though, than this Oklahoma City, obviously, or Norman. But it was a beat down in that heat, in the summertime in the late spring. Yeah,
yes.
It was way hot.
I mean, I'm from Phoenix. That's hot. But
that is true. When
you have heat and humidity combined,
yes, absolutely. It's a different kind of heat.
I'm collapsed on the field. Seriously. It's not good. Listen, Todd, I thought we should talk about financial services since that's why we're on here. I could interview you about athletics forever and ever. But let's talk about building ourselves a little paycheck here. How do people pay themselves once they get to the switch that they get to flip right into the new part of their lives? It's retirement. So how do we still have a paycheck in retirement once we left the work?
Yeah. So one of the biggest hurdles that folks really experience is actually making that mental switch.
Okay.
From
it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's emotional.
It's an emotional type of thing because you've been programmed to save, put money in 401k, 403b, whatever it may be. But then when retirement hits, it's all about, I got to spend now. You got to spend that money down.
Right.
So, it kind of reminds me of running is that, I've had to do tons of drills. I've had to practice, have to do repeat 200 meters, repeat 400 meters, et cetera, et cetera. But then when it's time to go run the race, well, all the preparation's over with. When the gun starts, I have to execute, right? So same thing when it comes to planning for retirement. You've saved, you've done all the preparation, but when it's time to execute, which is retirement, guess what? You have to shift from preparing to performing. And that means you have to start to pay yourself, right? So without a plan, just like in track and field, if I didn't have a plan, then I can gas myself out. I can try to run the 400 meter and just completely fail. In retirement, if you don't have a plan for that paycheck, then guess what? Either you're going to spend through your money or you're not going to spend enough. And you're like, man, I've been living in my house, not doing anything at all in retirement. And who wants to do that in retirement?
Nobody wants to do that.
Exactly.
Even though those are the images that we think from 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago when people retired and then fell over dead the next year.
Yes.
But people are living so much longer now. Todd's reachable on his 888 number, 888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. You can book right into his calendar and have that no-cost, no-obligation consultation, whether it's to do with your 401k, IRA, making the shift. How do I come up with this paycheck? But I do want to make the point, Todd, that people run, save, and then they think it's going to be easy after that. Well, without a plan, it's not so easy, is it?
No, it's not. Like I said, the plan of attack for having a reliable source of income in retirement, that paycheck, it really comes from three sources: your Social Security, maybe a pension, and obviously your 401k, right? Yep. And so the challenge is actually weaving those together into something that's predictable. This is going to be, where guaranteed options or income options come into play, like an annuity, like a pension, those kinds of things. You blend those in with your investment accounts, and that's how you get that consistency. So if you create that balance, then you're going to have a way to actually, have a base paycheck, but also have the flexibility for those expenses you mentioned earlier. For instance, like, a roofing or, your roof on your house, a new car, whatever it may be, or vacations, right? You want to have those little life extras come out of a different kind of bucket.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, I will tell you a story. One of my favorite stories is of a teacher who actually retired with a pension and Social Security, but actually still felt nervous from doing anything, right?
Oh, bless her.
We layered in a guaranteed stream to actually cover her essentials. That's the mortgage, that's the groceries, that's the healthcare, et cetera. And then when we left, the rest invested for travel, her hobbies, grandkids, whatever it may be. And she told me later on, it's like it actually feels that she's never stopped working. Because she still gets that paycheck every month. But the difference is that it's not a problem. She didn't have to deal with those kids. So she gets a paycheck, right? She gets a paycheck. She does what she wants to do. But that paycheck plan gives her a peace of mind that she has money coming in. It hits her account every single month. Now she can go out and do all the fun she wants to go do in retirement.
Oh, that's sweet. And I know you've helped a lot of people in 22 years of financial services. Have you ever encountered the person who says, listen, I'm just going to take some money, ad hoc out of this IRA account and hope for the best. My dad did it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah, that's the big ATM person. That person, they'll pull that 20 grand out of their retirement account, right?
Wow.
They want a trip. Guess what? They'll swipe a credit card and pull that money to pay off the credit card out of the retirement account. But the problem is, since they don't have a plan and it's kind of an ad hoc, then they could be taking money out that's going to hurt them, because if the market's down, guess what? You're putting yourself in a bigger hole, right? And that's what happens when you don't really have a plan and you just kind of do withdrawals out of your account.
Mm-hmm. Now, Todd, if he's making sense to you, I really highly recommend that you get on his schedule and go over and have a sit down with him. He services OKC, and wherever, you want a virtual call with him to meet him the first time, but face-to-face is always the best. 888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. Do you also encounter the person who is just unsure about leaving their identity behind once they leave the job? Because that's kind of hard too. Well, I've been an engineer for 40 years, or I've been a teacher for this long, or I've been a broadcaster for 40 years. Who am I going to be in retirement? How do you counsel them to find the right kind of activity or something that could be fulfilling for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One of the primary questions I always ask my clients, and by the way, I probably deal with mostly pre-retirees, people that are 50 years and above.
Okay.
And I always ask the question, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do in retirement? And that's it's a simple question, but everybody's stumped. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know what I want to do. So, I mean, is it gardening? And I mentioned some of these in gardening, golfing. Well, there's a lot of men in my portfolio that, it's golfing. I'm going out golfing, every day if I can.
Every day?
Absolutely. Every day. I'm like, goodness gracious, man. And so there's golfing, there's obviously vacationing. I think I had a client in Louisiana who said, yeah, I'm hitting the cruises every quarter. I'm going on a cruise. So you have to find something. I don't know what mine's going to, actually, I know what mine's going to be. Mine is actually, I travel around the world, going to distilleries and spirits like that's, Scotch, that's, Irish whiskey, that's bourbon, Japanese whiskey. I go and travel all the different places just to go to distilleries. I'm going to continue to do that in retirement. So yeah, absolutely. Yes. It's absolutely fun. That's the most, adult, amusement park I've ever been.
I bet.
Is a distillery, right? It's awesome. But you have to find that identity. You have to find out exactly what you want to do and start to plan for it, because there's going to be an expense for that. And we have to start to plan for that expense in your retirement paycheck.
I love it. This is the reason that you want to sit down and plan, whether it's that aspect of planning or the financial part, but it all goes together, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Like I said earlier, a lot of our listeners, they've said that they've actually are saving correctly, but they're still concerned about that market volatility, right? And having enough money in their retirement to take care of their expenses, take care of their vacations, take care of those hobbies that we're talking about. But making sure that you have an income plan that will actually last your entire life, no matter what and how long that may be, is what drives us. It's what we do good. It's what we do day in and day out. And that's why we've actually created the Financial Fast Track Review. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a no cost, no obligation financial review. This analysis will include a fee report and risk assessment to actually help recognize those unnecessary losses you're probably in your portfolio, and see if actually by simply protecting your retirement investment and minimizing those fees, you could actually experience a dramatic growth potential. Second, what we're going to do is perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes and increase your cash flow right now. And finally, what we're going to do is develop a customized income plan utilizing proven strategies that could strengthen your retirement income and actually take the worry out of living in retirement. So in short, what we're going to do is take that guesswork out of financial planning for you. So again, for the next 10 callers, that's a comprehensive financial track review that we're going to provide for you complimentary. There's no obligation to make this happen. So Jackie, tell them how to get in contact with me.
Sure. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. If you want to look up Tod online, you can go to longfsg.com. All right, one more time on the number, 888-548-0409. We're going to talk the tax man on the way.
Feeling like just another number with your advisor? At Long Financial Services, you're always valued personally. Tod Long knows your retirement isn't about numbers on a page. It's about income you can depend on, security you can trust, and advice tailored specifically to you. Take the first step toward a meaningful conversation. Call 888-548-0409. Proudly serving Oklahoma. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
I've been wanting to ask you this, Tod Long. I'm Jackie Selby. This is Financial Fast Track with Tod Long. Why is boring money in a retirement plan so valuable? Boring money.
Yeah, boring money is your short-term bucket type money. So that's like your cash, that's CDs. It's probably going to be short-term bonds. We have what's called a multi-year guaranteed annuities that are typically like 3 to 5 years. Those are very short. They give you impact. They give you liquidity. They give you a lot of money. During your working years, you wanted growth, and you had plenty of opportunity to actually have that money grow. In retirement, borrowing money buys you that time, right? So when the market dips, you don't have to touch that investment because you have that cushion in your liquidable assets. That's the borrowing money. For instance, I had a client back in 2020 during COVID. It was actually right before COVID, but when the markets were really, really volatile in 2020, he had 2 years worth of reserves in that borrowing money. He never had to sell any investment during that downturn. Instead, what he did is use that cushion that covered all the expenses. So that's your mortgages and everything else. And you have to worry about what's going on with the market because he had extra money elsewhere, not qualified, just in some sort of short-term type of account they can pull from to get him through those times.
Right.
By the time the market recovered, his long-term money that was in the market, that was going up and down, fluctuating, et cetera, remained untouched. He actually told me, he said, man, Todd, that borrowing money was the best money I've ever had.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it works out well if you set it up and do it correctly.
Wow. I bet he just, that's the nicest compliment you can get.
Well, yes, that's one of them. I have some others, and I think my clients will probably appreciate, or listeners will appreciate at some point in time that I'll share.
Oh, good. I know we have lots of stories going forward.
Yes. So, we talked a lot about today and to our listeners, and a lot of the listeners are probably thinking to themselves, I think I'm saving correctly, but they're still going to be concerned about this volatility in the market. And having enough money to actually last their retirement. So making sure that you actually have an income plan that will last your entire life, no matter how long that may be, is what drives us here at Long Financial Services. It's what we're good at, and it's what we do day in and day out. And that's why we've actually created the Financial Fast Track Review. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. This analysis will include a fee report and risk assessment to help you recognize unnecessary losses in your portfolio and see if by simply protecting your retirement investment and actually minimizing those fees, you could actually experience dramatic growth potential. Second, what we're going to do is perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes and increase your cash flow. And finally, what we're going to do is develop a customized income plan utilizing proven strategies that actually could strengthen your retirement income and take the worry out of living in retirement. So in short, what we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So for the next 10 callers, that's a comprehensive financial fast track review that we're going to provide to you complimentary, no obligation to do anything. Jackie, tell them how to get in contact with us.
Well, sure. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. Long Financial Services bringing you this show, Financial Fast Track with Tod Long. One more time, 888-548-0409.
Retirement means a new phase of life, and managing risk is crucial. At Long Financial Services, Tod Long and his team build comprehensive strategies designed to minimize risk, generate reliable income, and help you stay proactive through every market condition. Discover what your retirement plan could look like. Call 888-548-0409. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
Glad to have you listening here. It's the Financial Fast Track with Tod Long, as you probably just heard from our intro, music, etc. Jackie Selby here with Tod Long. And I want to talk about Uncle Sam. How do you feel about him? You want to put him in the will?
Yeah. No, he's already got his hands in our pockets already. So why would I want him to be in my will?
Let's take him out of the will then.
Yeah.
But if you don't do certain things as a pre-retiree and a retiree, you could get stuck in the retirement tax trap. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the most overlooked risks in retirement. Actually, most folks actually assume their taxes actually will go down in when they stop working, but between the required minimum distributions or RMD,
right,
Social Security taxation, capital gains, many end up in a higher bracket. And that's the stealth tax hike, and it's blindsides a lot of people.
Well, that kind of freaks me out because you do think you're just going to sit there on the porch like Uncle Joe, and have a pipe hanging out of your mouth and have a cup of coffee every morning and watch the world go by. Some people still think that, but guess what? You've got income coming in now.
Yeah, you have to start to take that money. And so if you don't take all that money, then the Uncle Sam's like, well, we gave a contract with you 40 years ago that we're going to put this in a tax preferred. You let it grow. You have to pay taxes on it. But if you don't start taking money out at a certain age, I'm going to force you to take it out. I was working with a gentleman, probably one of my first clients back in 2003 or 4 or whatever. But he retired from a telecom company. And you probably know what the telecom company is, especially in Oklahoma. He thought his income would actually drop in retirement. But once his RMDs kicked in, it pushed him into a higher tax bracket. And suddenly half of his Social Security was taxable, right? He told me, he said, man, I felt I got a pay cut for my own retirement. That's that tax trap in full effect. So if you don't have a plan for that, then you could be like him and suffer a portion of your income going to Uncle Sam, even though you don't want it to.
My goodness gracious. Now, this is not something I want to encounter myself, to see I've got a big income in retirement, but you can't count on all of it because it's going to be taxed. And so what can we do about that? I've heard about Roth conversions for years. What's a good time or age or situation to convert some of your money from pre-tax to post-tax? Is that the right description? Yeah,
that's the correct description.
Okay.
And that's a good question. Usually between retirement age and officially retirement age from the IRS standpoint is 59 and a half years old. You can start to retire at that point. In other words, you can access that qualified money.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, go ahead. Take some of that. I'm going to tax you on it, but you can take some of it.
It's mine. Okay, all right.
Absolutely. And so between the retirement age and RMD age, which is 73, that's a sweet spot where income is actually typically lower if you've actually retired. And that's a perfect time to actually take those partial Roth conversions. The reason why is because you're paying taxes at today's rates. You know what it is, 12, 20, 14, whatever it is percent, which is supposed to sunset in 2026. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that's on the books at this point. Mm-hmm. So rather than wait till tomorrow, you can do that today, which, tomorrow could be higher. You don't know. So right now is a golden era of actually Roth planning.
Well, good. So let's get some of it planned. Let's call Todd and see if this is appropriate for your plans going forward. 888-548-0409. Call Long Financial Services and talk to Tod Long. Now, this is a real person that you're going to talk to when you make the call. 888-548-0409. Are you or your assistant going to take the calls this weekend?
It's probably going to be me. I do have an assistant, but I think she's going to be out. So it's probably going to be me picking up that phone call and greeting folks and getting them on the calendar.
Tod Long, how can I help you?
Yeah, thanks for calling Tod Long. This is Todd.
Thanks for calling Tod Long. Tod Long speaking.
Yeah, right. No, yeah. Usually I say thanks for calling. Good afternoon or whatever it may be. Yeah. This is Todd. Can I help you? But yeah.
All right. Again, on that number, 888-548-0409. I think that's kind of fun because then that's the direct personal connection to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll remember that forever. Man, that guy took my call.
I hope it's just like that. And, I hope I get them on a good strategy to where, it's in, some of these customers that I'm talking about in these stories are true, right? So mm-hmm. I've helped all these folks out and they give me all these kudos afterwards. Like, oh my God, Todd, thank you. Right. I appreciate you doing that because guess what? If I didn't do this, mm-hmm. then I would have been paying X, Y, and Z more taxes, mm-hmm. or I'd have been not having the right kind of interest rate or whatever it may be. So I like to help out folks a lot.
Good. Well, and I'm sure, does anybody ever call you and say, well, I want some references. Do you have any references?
Yeah, I do have references, but
Great.
Most people don't actually ask me that question. But
no need.
Yeah, really is not. Yeah, I mean, the companies that I actually represent are billion-dollar organizations, right. And so there's plenty of references for them, and that's where the money's going. It's not to me. So.
That's right. The money's not coming to you. If you're helping someone with an annuity, you're not getting paid from the customer.
No, not at all. I'm getting paid from the carrier. So
people don't get that. They think, he's going to charge me.
Yeah, I don't get it. Actually, I'm not the one that charges them. It's the investment banks that actually charge you the 1.25%, 1.5%, et cetera. So anything that I actually talk about is no fees. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my financial fast track review is
Good.
a fee assessment. Find out what those fees are. If I can put those fees back in your pocket for retirement, who wouldn't want to do that, right?
I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we covered the Roth conversions. What about Medicare, Social Security?
Irma.
Irma. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Not her.
Not her. Yes. So Irma is it's actually spelled IRMAA, and that's income related monthly adjustment amount.
Oh, my.
If your income jumps because of a big conversion, big Roth conversion or whatever, your premiums on your Medicare can actually climb by hundreds or even thousands per year. Same healthcare, just a bigger bill, because you didn't plan for that Roth conversion or that conversion of that income coming in. I have a retiree who he did it without letting me know. I'm just qualifying this. He took $100,000 and did a Roth conversion in 1 year without any planning whatsoever. Didn't let me know, just did it. The conversion itself wasn't the problem. Obviously, you can do that all day, but it pushed his income over the threshold, the IRMA threshold, and his Medicare premiums spiked for the entire year. So he was paying more to Uncle Sam and more for healthcare. Now, if he'd spread that conversion out over a period of years, we could have actually avoided that premium tax hike. Or that premium hike. So it benefits everybody to actually just sit down and have a quick conversation about, okay, this is the plan for conversions. Okay, I'm going to look immediately. How is this going to affect your IRMA? Is it going to be impactful? If it is, I'm going to let you know what that impact is going to be. And if there's a way to actually minimize that, I'm going to let you know that as well.
Oh, I love that. So you look at the whole darn thing for folks.
Yes, absolutely. 360 review.
I like that. 365 degrees. 360, which is
360, yeah.
Obviously, I don't have my drone operator's license. Okay, how about tax-deferred accounts? If somebody wants to leave an IRA, that's a tax-deferred account, right? I'm just going to leave this IRA to the kids. What's the tax implication for the kids?
Wow. Okay, so if it's still qualified money, then there are some requirements, I should say. So yeah, you can actually, if it's a beneficiary, they can get that income. However, the tax burden is going to be shifted towards them, which means that guess what? You have to start to consider your wealth transfer at some point, and that's one of the things we actually look at as well. It's like and we call it, you're never going to touch money, right? That's what we call it in my industry, at least my agency.
I like
so it. Meaning that if you have your income, we got the income set up, we have your expenses set up. What's left over? What's left over is that $800,000, $500,000, whatever that may be, whatever that nugget is that you'll never touch because you're maxed out on your expenses. You're having so much fun vacationing and spending money on your kids and doing pizza nights or whatever you're going to be doing. But then once you pass, if you pass that money that's left over to your children or beneficiaries that's in a qualified account, then that tax burden shifts towards them. It's one of the reasons why I try to do those structured Roth conversions the right way. Or, we don't have to talk about all the ways, but there's ways to actually input like a term policy or maybe an IUL policy in your portfolio. That way, if something were to happen unannounced, then that money, if it's a life insurance policy, transfers to that beneficiary tax-free.
Tax-free?
Tax-free. And that helps them take care of that tax burden from that qualified account.
Okay, tax-free makes me jump out of my seat. I'm pretty excited about that.
It's awesome.
Yes. So talk to Todd about that. And here are the ways to reach Todd. Well, I'm just going to give the 888 number, 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. And if you want to be starstruck, you could look up Tod Long. That's just with one D, Tod Long. Do a Google search. Do you keep your awards and all that? I'm just nosy and starstruck.
The only thing I have up on the walls currently right now are my All-American certificates and all my medals. They are stuffed in a drawer someplace in a closet. Yeah.
You're not going to sell them like Bruce?
No. No, I earned it, right? I
Yes.
put out the blood, sweat, and tears on the track to get those things, and so I'll keep those. Yeah.
Of course. And, 22 years, that was a while ago. And 22 years you've been in financial services. Well, anyway, I'll let you talk now.
Well, yeah. Again, a lot of our listeners, they're probably telling themselves, "Hey, I've saved a lot of money," but I'm still a little bit concerned about how the market, especially today, is fluctuating. How's that going to impact my retirement? So making sure that you actually have an income plan that actually lasts your entire life, no matter how long that may be, is what drives us. It's what we're good at, and it's what we do day in and day out. So that's why we created a plan. It's called the Financial Fast Track Review. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a no cost, no obligation financial review. This analysis will include a fee report and risk assessment to actually help you recognize unnecessary losses in your portfolio and see if you can simply protect your retirement investment and minimize those fees. You can actually experience dramatic growth potential. Now, second, what we'll do is perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes now and increase your cash flow today. And finally, we'll develop a customized income plan utilizing proven strategies that could actually strengthen your retirement income and take the worry out of living in retirement. So in short, what we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So for the next 10 callers, that's a comprehensive financial fast track review that we're going to provide complimentary, no obligation whatsoever. So Jackie, tell them how to get in contact with us.
888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. Be right back on Financial Fast Track.
Is your retirement plan starting to feel generic? You're unique. Your retirement strategy should be too. At Long Financial Services, Tod Long customizes each plan specifically around you, your life, and your goals. For a personalized review of your retirement, call 888-548-0409. Proudly serving Oklahoma. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
I think it's kind of fun to kind of flush out certain ideas that may, appear to people lying there in bed at night. Well, what if? Okay, so Todd is going to give you a few answers and suggestions. Let's address a couple of these things. I'm here with Tod Long, for crying out loud. The show is called Financial Fast Track. This is our first show, and we're pretty excited about it. I'm Jackie Selby. Long Financial Services is his company. He's been in financial services for 22 years after he left his professional athletic career. And so servicing all of OKC. Let's look at considering a Roth conversion. We have someone who is doing that, considering some Roth conversion money, but they're not sure about the upfront tax hit. Is it worth it? Say you're 64 and still working part-time. So when does it actually make sense to convert traditional retirement funds into a Roth, Todd?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The short answer is it depends on timing. So if you're actually working part-time and your income is lower, then it's
kind of a good time, isn't it?
No, it absolutely is. Yeah. It's actually, instead of at the peak of your career, if you have the peak of your career, then guess what? Your income's higher, therefore your taxes are higher, et cetera. But if you're actually in a part-time type position,
right,
partially working 20 hours a week, et cetera, then your tax burden is lower, your tax bracket's lower. That's the perfect time, perfect window to actually do that partial Roth conversion. Now you will pay some taxes, obviously, but what we try to do is we try to maximize that tax bracket. So if it's $100,000 is the upper end of that, and you're comfortable paying taxes up to $100,000 and you're paying, you're making 50, then great. Let's do a $50,000 conversion, pay the taxes on that, get up to that top end band, and understand that money is getting moved over into a Roth account now. Now it's going to grow tax free. You can get access to it tax free. Uncle Sam's out of that pocket, right? It's all yours at that point.
Good, because we want to disinherit him in all the legal ways possible.
Absolutely, and Roth conversion is the smart Roth conversion is the way to do it. Good,
very good. I was just wondering, that's kind of a good time, especially maybe if the one person in the marriage has retired. Like a lot of times the wife will retire earlier,
right,
and to build up the Social Security benefit on the man's side and so on and so on. So maybe that's a good time too, as if just one person's retired.
Yeah, that is. Again, it's all about the timing, and it's all about what that income looks like right now
Okay.
and what that tax bracket is. So,
Great.
honestly, what one of the things I do is actually find out what the income is currently, and then I find out what that tax bracket is, and from there, strategies can actually start to blossom from that.
Great.
And it may make sense to make that happen, or it may not. And if it's not, then we'll let you know.
And that's the good part, is that it's a whole bunch of strategy and it's all working in tandem. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle piece,
It's a puzzle.
isn't it?
Absolutely. Got to blend everything.
Yeah. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. Or you're making a smoothie. Don't forget don't forget the protein powder. It's just going to taste like whipped up fruit.
That's correct. You got to
And
put all the
kale.
right ingredients. Yeah. Put all the right ingredients in that shake, put all the right ingredients into your plan, and it's going to come out tasting and feeling quite well.
Good. I know we're talking about financial services, but there's somebody who I live in a condo and across the breezeway, and he's a younger man. And when I see him when I'm leaving for work in the morning, he's carrying the blender itself that's just been blended. He's got that under one arm and has 2 gallons of water under the other arm.
Yeah,
So fun.
I've been there. I was doing that. Yeah.
Just carry it.
I don't miss it at all.
I bet not. All right. Again, on Todd's number, 888-548-0409. How about this scenario? A 62-year-old eager to claim Social Security, but their spouse is 67 and already collecting Social Security. They're not sure how to coordinate the timing on this. What is the smartest way to approach claiming Social Security as a couple?
Yeah. Key word that I've probably used several times is strategy. It really matters, right? So when one spouse actually claims early at 62, benefits are going to permanently be reduced. Not just for them, but possibly for the survivor benefits later. So sometimes it actually makes sense for the higher earning spouse to delay as long as possible to maximize that survivor benefit. While the other actually collects earlier income if it's needed, only if it's needed. But again, it's all about strategy.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have a couple that were in a similar spot. The husband was actually collecting at 67, which is full retirement age. And then we encouraged the wife to actually wait until 66 instead of claiming at 62. By delaying, she secured thousands of more dollars in lifetime dollars. And what she did, if she outlives him, then her survivor benefits are actually going to be much stronger. So it's all about strategy.
I guess I wasn't aware of the lifetime impact of making that decision too early.
Absolutely. I have a piece of software, so I can't take all the credit, but there's a software application that I use to actually show me and show our clients exactly when to pinpoint, whether it be married or single, to file for Social Security that actually can maximize their benefit. In some cases, if you do it incorrectly, then it can cost you in lifetime benefits up to about $300,000, $400,000.
Oh my golly!
Yeah.
Oh boy, you do not want to have a regret that big.
No, not at all. Yeah. It's part of our practice is actually Social Security reviews. So just to make sure that you file the correct application, file at the correct time, all that. And if you're a spouse or if you're a widow, as a matter of fact, I have a widow that was working still when her husband died. But once she went through one of our assessments or our reviews, she found that, oh my God, I can stop working because of my survivor benefits. Yeah. She didn't know about survivor benefits at all. Nobody told her.
Well, it's not in the paper or it's not on your reels,
It's not. And so, we let her know that you can actually, get this extra money right now. And so she did that and stopped working almost immediately.
Wonderful. Well, talk to Todd about this if it's something that's of concern to you. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. I've got another age-related question for you here. Someone's turning 73 next year, and they're confused about how much they'll have to take out for their RMDs, okay? There's 2 IRAs involved and a 403B.
Okay.
So how does this kind of scheduling work? How do RMDs work? I don't even know.
Right. So here's the rule. You have to calculate your RMDs based on the total balance of all your tax deferred accounts as of December 31st, the prior year.
Okay.
So with IRAs, it's clear as mud, right? So with IRAs, You can take the combined RMD from one or more accounts. It's pretty flexible if you have an IRA. But with a 403B or 401k, which is, again, in a tax code, you have to take the RMD separately from each account. That's where people get tripped up. If you don't do this correctly, the IRS could actually slap you with a 25% penalty if you mess it up.
And that's a lot of money.
It's pretty expensive. It's a pretty expensive mess up. Yes.
At least they don't come by in a van and take you away.
Maybe, I don't know. I try to make sure my clients don't go through that because I plan it out appropriately. Very
good, very good. You do want to talk. And they go up each year, right? It goes more.
Yeah. But it's RMDs. It's really based on what they what their it does. You know, it's systematically speaking, it does go up because guess what? If you have your money in qualified accounts, especially in investment accounts, et cetera, like a 401k, it's in the market. Theoretically, it's going to go up. Theoretically, that means your RMD is going to go up as well.
Now, if you want to talk to Tod about a tax-free retirement, here's his number: 888-548-0409. Doesn't that sound nice? 888-548-0409. Here's another one. They want to give the adult children $10,000 each to help with down payments and such, but they heard that it might trigger a tax issue. What's the best way to give financial gifts during retirement without creating a tax headache for either the giver or the recipient?
Yeah. So the good news is under current rules, again, can change. The administration can change at any point in time.
All right.
You can give up to $18,000 per person per year without any gift or gift tax consequences. And a married couple can actually even combine that to give $36,000. So in this particular scenario, a $10,000 gift per child is well under that limit. So you're good. The key is actually documenting it properly so it doesn't actually create confusion later on down the line. I have clients who actually have done that before. They've given kids, their adult kids, $15,000 each for down payments on houses, cars, whatever they're doing. But the thing is, it avoids taxes. But what it actually also does is you want to experience how this impacts your child, right?
Yes.
So if you wait until you pass away and you do transfer the money, et cetera, you don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to feel, whatever it may be. But you can actually do that. You can transfer some of that wealth today, as long as it's under the right kind of parameters. That way you can actually experience that with your child. Their first house they purchased, or their first car they purchased, et cetera. You can do that with them right now and feel it with them. Yeah, that's a good experience.
Yes, or the grandkids. Disney Cruise. Disney Cruise.
Absolutely. Those two, yeah. As a matter of fact, a lot of the clients that I deal with, it's not really the adult kids that are getting any of the money. It's actually the grandkids. Yeah.
You bet. And experiences with the grandparents.
Absolutely.
I mean, little kids will go, I remember that.
Absolutely. It is a good thing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. One thing that we've talked about, a couple of times before is that, a lot of our clients, listeners, I should say, they feel that they're, again, saving correctly. They're still concerned about this market. It's fluctuating. It's up and down. It's left and right. And actually having enough money that will last them through retirement. So making sure that you actually have an income plan that lasts your entire life, no matter how long that may be, is what drives us here at Long Financial Services. It's what we do good, and we do it daily. That's why we've actually created the Financial Fast Track Review. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. This analysis will include a fee report and risk assessment to help you recognize unnecessary losses in your portfolio and see by simply protecting your retirement investment and actually minimizing those fees, you could actually experience dramatic growth potential. Second, what we're going to do is perform a tax analysis to reveal how you could possibly reduce your taxes and actually increase your cash flow today. And finally, we're going to develop a customized income plan utilizing proven strategies that could strengthen your retirement income and take the worry out of living in retirement. So in short, what we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So for the next 10 callers, that's a comprehensive financial fast track review that we're going to provide to you complimentary, no obligation to do anything. So Jackie, tell them how to get in contact with us.
Great. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409 on Financial Fast Track with Tod Long.
Investment advisory services offered through Tod Long, a registered investment advisor. During this show, Tod Long provides general information, not individually targeted personalized advice, and is not liable for the usage of information discussed. Exposure to ideas and products or services should not be considered investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any of these financial vehicles. This information should also not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the fields of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed, may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to securities or investment advisory services. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are offered through Tod Long. By contacting Tod Long, you may be provided information regarding the purchase of insurance products.